Hey guys, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart, and welcome to another series video, first series video. Yeah, my script for this is confusing, and I'm also sorry that, let me move that, okay, and I'm also sorry that some of my videos have just been me talking over a photo. It's mostly for whenever I don't know what to use for gameplay footage, so yeah, but back to the script. This series is basically talking about the secret lore of Annoying Orange. Now, you might think that this video is stupid. Well, it is. But most of my series are just made for fun. Anyways, let's get into the series. Oh, also note that we will also be considering the Annoying Orange TV show. So yeah, there will be a lot of lore. Anyways, on to the series. All of this begins after the dinosaurs go extinct and cavemen and cavewomen start to show up on Earth. These food-like creatures appeared as well. They were a lot bigger than humans and even had arms, but eventually another asteroid comes and kills them off. They eventually come back somewhere in 1776. This is where we see Grandpa Lemon, who is actually important to the series, and you will see why. Then in modern times, we see them again and living alongside with humans. But we also see that they are aware that they have clones that aren't alive. These clones being regular food. You would think that they would be frightened by humans eating their clones, but no, they aren't. In fact, they occasionally eat their clones as well. In a challenge video, we see Midget Apple eat food without being frightened. Does he comment that it's seen as cannibalism? Yeah, but he isn't disturbed at all. They are only disturbed when their own species, the food gourds, get eaten or killed off. The difference between regular food and the food gourds is something that the humans don't notice unless they are aware of the food gourds' sentience. Now that we talked about them being on Earth and their relationship with humans, let's talk about the thing they fear the most. Knives. In the Annoying Orange universe, there seems to be some type of god that likes to see the suffering of food gourds, the one-armed man. This one-armed man wields a knife to slice, dice, and do whatever the one-armed man wants to do to the food gourds. But then we have to get to something interesting. We see that it's more than food that is alive. There is a TV remote that can pause time in reality. Yes, really. Talking TVs, rainbow fish, liquids, even the knives have sentience. So that means there's more than the food gourds. But how? Well, let's get back to the beginning of the series where I mentioned this all starts after the dinosaurs go extinct. That meteor that killed the dinosaurs carried the food gourds to Earth, but the asteroid contained something else, a disease. This disease would lay dormant until the 21st century, where it was released and gave multiple things sentience, even giving the things it gave sentience to powers, examples being the rainbow fish and the TV remote. Back to knives being sentient, they seem to not like having to slice and dice the food gourds. In one Annoying Orange video, we see a sentient knife chop someone up, and the knife later says he didn't want to. Now, you would think knives would be fearless killing machines in this universe, but they aren't. In fact, they have the fear of the block of metal known as the sharpener, which is a thing, so yeah. Now, let's get to the main character, Orange. Obviously, Orange is the main character of the series, and we see that he and some of his friends who haven't been killed. Has Orange died before? Yeah, he has, but his death was reversed by the TV remote. But before we get into his importance in the Annoying Orange universe, let's just talk about Orange himself. Orange seems to be somewhat insane because he is one of the few food gourds who isn't disturbed when a food gourd gets killed. Sure, he sometimes is disturbed, but most of the time he just makes a pun. Another thing to note that is the fact that there was a short series called Food Explosion, a series where food gourds would get murdered in violent ways. Orange was the host, and he didn't seem disturbed by the fact he was the host of a show that had his own species getting murdered violently. And here is why. The food gourds came from a different planet where they were constantly at war with the broccoli. Orange was probably a soldier and executor. A soldier because he and his friends probably fought a lot of broccoli, and the executor to execute anyone who was put in death row. Now, obviously, seeing multiple people die or multiple people being killed by your hands is bound to mentally fuck someone up. And that's exactly what happened to Orange. He was made so disturbed, the only way he could hide his insanity was making puns and, well, being annoying. It wasn't until the broccoli finally won the war and the remaining food gourds escaped their planet and went to Earth. Now we get to see why Orange is important to the universe, besides being the main character. But we actually have to get into Grandpa Lemon. He was alive way before 1776, and he is still alive now. How's that possible, you may ask? Well, you might just think food gourds have long lifespans, which they do. In one video, we see a can of food that is way past its expiration date, showing that food gourds do have very long lifespans. But there is no reason. Grandpa Lemon is the god of this universe. Well, one of them. Grandpa Lemon was created to keep any incarnation of Orange and his friends alive, especially Orange. And why is this? Well, because in the wars against Broccoli, Orange and his friends always led the battles and won. Orange especially proved himself to be a strong combatant and was the one food gourds followed into battle. But to get into this quickly, when the Broccoli won the war, did all the food gourds die? Well, no. The marshmallow food gourds escaped to another planet to escape the war and live peacefully, despite the fact they had the most powerful weapons. Now getting back into the series, Grandpa Lemon was given the task to protect the incarnations of Orange and his friends to keep them alive. Why? Because the Broccoli are still alive and after Orange and his friends. They hope to destroy Orange and his friends so they can take over the world and eventually the universe itself. And because that wouldn't be good, Grandpa Lemon has to protect Orange and his friends. But as we see, he isn't alone. The TV remote I have mentioned multiple times also seems to be some type of godlike being, being able to stop time or rewind time. So we do know that there are more food gourds or things infected with the food gourd disease that have some form of godlike powers or immortality. Now with that out of the way, let's get into a few humans that are friends with these food gourds and are willing to protect them. The creators of Annoying Orange are canon in the Annoying Orange universe and are friends with the food gourds, even helping them make the videos and TV show. We aren't going to talk about them a lot because they don't appear in the series a lot, which is why we have to talk about a person who is somewhat important to the lore. Nerville, played by Tobuscus, works at a grocery store that seems to be a secondary home for the food gourds and regular food. Nerville is important because we see that he really does care for the food gourds and wants to keep them safe. He even keeps them away from a guy who wants to show off his new high-powered blender. Which, side note, the guy complains about not having any food to test the blender out, but there is already a bunch of food in that store that isn't sentient, so he could have used that. So, do we see that Nerville is important to this universe, and he too might know that he was given the same job to protect Orange and his friends from dying? And despite the fact we don't see Nerville that much because Tobuscus and Danebo probably had some falling out, Nerville is still important to the Annoying Orange universe. Annoying Orange maybe he could come back. Could he? Probably. Don't know. So yeah, that's my Annoying Orange series. Now do note that this is a redo of an older video and this was made for fun, so please don't take this seriously. Besides, this is just a series anyways. But seriously, Danebo, if you want to use the series for a video, be my guest. Just credit me. But anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe and like for more, and I'll see y'all guys later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye.